Welcome to A Deeper Look. Today we are going to wonder together about what it means to be a contemplative in action. My best friend in the whole world is getting married this Saturday. And her family has moved away from Michigan, but she considers Michigan, and more specifically, St. John Fisher, where I used to work, and where we first met, her parish home. So that is where she is getting married, which is wonderful, and it is. And since I'm her best friend and her maid of honor, and I still live in Michigan, my home right now, at this moment, as we speak, is being transformed into Wedding Central. I'm hosting 6 people in my home for the weekend, including the bride, who arrives tomorrow, on top of my own family of 5. And I'm not kidding when I say that I'm preparing the house as if Jesus himself was coming to visit. In fact, when I was preparing for this reflection, I was literally taking down the curtains to be washed. Now, I don't know how often you wash your curtains, but it only happens in my house if Jesus is coming to visit. So would it be fair to say that I'm in a questionable spiritual place if I told you that when I first sat down and read Jesus' reply to Martha, Mary has chosen the better part and it will not be taken from her, that in my so pious state of mind, I imagine slugging him? Now, my husband Kip warned me that I can't be sexist because he pulls his weight, especially this week. So before I go any further, know that all the gender roles here are interchangeable. There is this little video out there on YouTube about a newlywed couple, and the wife walks in from a long day at work, and she's kvetching to her new husband, who is relaxing with the dog and the remote. And she says, why is it my job to prepare the meal? And goes on about all the other things that she needs to accomplish that evening. And the husband says, don't worry, honey. It's all going to be okay. He has discovered a solution for both of them. And he begins by explaining to his new wife that since they began living together, the coffee table has become enchanted. In whispered tones, as if he's imparting to her a very deep and mysterious secret, he explains how it works. He says he can leave anything he wants on this enchanted coffee table at night. Dirty tissues, pizza boxes, banana peels, and whoosh, everything is magically gone and the table is clean in the morning. His new wife looks at him, astonished, and walks out the door, shaking her head, like, wow, I married myself a real nut job. Now, this is the video that came to mind when I read Jesus saying, Mary has chosen the better part. Inspiration? Perhaps. But someone then needs to explain to me why I've been rage folding laundry for a few days now, pondering Jesus' reply with the same feeling I get when my husband tells me to calm down. A very substantial and serious part of me wants to say, no doubt in unison with Martha, oh yeah, Jesus? Are you nice and comfortable in this clean house? You're enjoying this lovingly prepared meal? Do you think this is a magic table? John Shea, who is one of my very favorite theologians and authors, says that in spiritual teaching, even from wisdom traditions other than our own Christian tradition, sisters symbolize side-by-side realities that are meant to be together. So even though Christians are fond of kind of pitting Mary and Martha against each other, the real task, he says, is to discover their proper relationship. Mary represents our contemplative side. She is the dedicated disciple, making time to listen and be quiet and absorb the teachings of Jesus. Martha represents our outer activity that has disengaged from its inner grounding and has become scattered in multiple tasks and feels a little resentful about it, like, most of us practical people really would. So perhaps with this scripture, Jesus is trying to tell us that sitting at the feet of the Lord, spending time in prayer, is one half of the equation that is inseparable from the really hard, arduous work of doing justice, of forgiving those who hurt us, of being hospitable to those who come to us for food and for welcome. Shea says, it's not a matter of which one is more important. It is a matter of how they complement each other. The teaching of the text is about discovering their essential connectedness. Martha sees her problem as having too much to do and too little time to do it. And this makes her frantic. But Jesus listens and sees that the real problem is her inner state of worry and distraction. This inner state undercuts her actions and makes them actually less effective. Martha has engaged in all this activity without being rooted in what Jesus calls the one necessary thing, or the better part in this particular translation. The one necessary thing is our connection to God, who is the ground and energy of all effective action. The one necessary thing is our connection to God, who is the ground and energy of all of our effective action. The love that is the bedrock of all meaningful service. Without this connection, this groundedness, we may have clean curtains, but we are consumed with worry, which taints our actions with resentment. And the love that is meant to be communicated with all our hard work is hidden and not received by those who we are trying so hard to care for. My spiritual director asked me this week, do you think Martha could ever bring herself to order a deli tray? A good question for me to ponder this week, and I hope for you too. May God have mercy on us and guide us in this sisterly relationship within each of us, so that we may be effective contemplatives in action, doing the truth in love.